Listen to me. Most of you are going to wake up on January 1st, 2026, look at your bank account and realize you missed the single greatest wealth transfer of the century. You are sitting there paralyzed by fear or distracted by garbage while the foundation of the global economy is being rebuilt in real time. You think you have time. You do not. The window is slamming shut. You are losing money every second you spend holding on to legacy ideas and outdated assets. If you are not already subscribed to the Wealth Strategy Room and engaging with this video, you are making a conscious decision to stay broke. You are literally ignoring a billionaire standing in your living room, telling you how to win. If you cannot even hit the subscribe button for Wealth Strategy Room, you do not have the discipline to be rich, and you are failing your family's financial future. You are choosing to be a spectator while others take your seat at the table. Subscribing to Wealth Strategy Room is the only logical move for anyone who actually wants to escape the rat race and win. Now get your head in the game. I am about to hand you the 4 specific tickers that are going to dominate the landscape by 2026. These are not speculative gambles. These are the companies that will control the flow of capital, data, and power for the next decade. If you miss this entry point, you will spend the rest of your life watching the people who listen to me build dynasties while you struggle to pay for the basics. There is one specific reason why these 4 stocks are about to decouple from the rest of the market. And if you do not understand this mechanism, you are finished. You are obsessed with being comfortable, and that is exactly why you are going to lose. You have been fed a diet of lies about what it means to be a safe investor. They told you to diversify. They told you to buy the index and wait 40 years. They told you that a 6% return is a victory. That advice is for people who want to die with just enough to pay for their own funeral. And if you want massive wealth, you have to understand that we are in the middle of a total structural reset of the global economy. The old rules are dead, and we are moving into a period where the gap between the people who own the future and the people who are stuck in the past is going to become an unbridgeable canyon. The foundational truth is that we are experiencing a massive convergence of artificial intelligence, energy scarcity, and localized manufacturing. This isn't just another tech cycle. This is the Industrial Revolution on steroids, and it is happening at 10 times the speed. So you are currently losing money by holding on to legacy ideas. You think you are being prudent by waiting for a correction or looking for a bargain in retail or traditional banking. You are wrong. You are being lazy while you are waiting for the world to make sense to you. The most aggressive and intelligent capital on the planet is flowing into 4 specific sectors that will be untouchable by 2026. The core problem is your relationship with risk. You think risk is buying a stock that might go down tomorrow. Real risk is not owning the companies that are going to own the world in 24 months. By 2026, the moats these companies are building will be so deep and so wide that no competitor will ever catch them. If you aren't in now, you are effectively choosing to be a permanent tenant in someone else's empire. You are staying in your comfort zone while the walls are closing in. You are looking at the price today instead of looking at the value tomorrow. You have to stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like a predator. Every dollar you have is a soldier. If you don't put those soldiers to work in the right places, they are going to get slaughtered by inflation and stagnation. The clock is ticking toward a hard deadline. In 2026, the winners will be solidified and the losers will be irrelevant. You have to decide right now if you are going to be an architect of your own fortune or a victim of your own hesitation. The reality is that most people don't have the stomach for what is coming, and they would rather feel safe while they go broke than feel uncomfortable while they get rich. I am telling you the truth because nobody else will. You are running out of time to position yourself before the door locks from the inside. Right now, you are standing on the edge of the greatest financial divide in human history. The middle class is being systematically eradicated. It is not happening by accident. It is happening by design. Inflation is eating your purchasing power, traditional jobs are being automated out of existence, and the cost of living is detaching from reality. You think playing it safe is going to protect you? Playing it safe is what the system wants you to do, so you quietly accept a lifetime of financial struggle. The wealth gap is no longer just a gap, it is a brick wall, and in 2026, the cement is drying. If you do not own the infrastructure of the new economy, you will be paying rent to the people who do for the rest of your life. Every day you wait, your money buys less of the future. This is the ultimate financial filter, and you are currently on the wrong side of it. And let me stop right here and give you a reality check. If you have not already hit the subscribe button for the Wealth Strategy Room, you are actively choosing to fail. You are sitting there taking my advice, listening to me lay out the exact blueprint for generational wealth. And you can't even take 1 second to subscribe and like the video. That makes you a thief, and worse, it makes you a coward. The people in the Wealth Strategy Room community are taking action. They are positioning themselves to win. If you do not subscribe right now, you are telling me, you are telling yourself, and you are telling your family that you do not have what it takes to be rich. You are choosing to stay broke. You are deciding that your pride or your laziness is more important than your financial freedom. Hit subscribe to the Wealth Strategy Room right now, or close this video and go back to being a victim. Now, if you are still here, it means you actually want to survive what is coming. The stakes have never been higher because the velocity of money has fundamentally changed. We are no longer operating in a market where you can slowly accumulate wealth over 30 years by clipping coupons and hoping for the best. The massive shifts in advanced manufacturing, energy infrastructure, and artificial intelligence are creating a winner-take-all scenario across the globe. In 2026, these 4 companies are not just going to beat their earnings estimates, they are going to establish monopolies that cannot be broken by any competitor or any government. They are building the picks and shovels for the digital and physical infrastructure of the next 50 years. The people who are holding cash or buying traditional index funds are going to be wiped out by the sheer speed of this transformation. You have to understand that capital is a weapon, and right now you are bringing a knife to a nuclear war. The window to get in before the institutional money completely locks up, the float is closing fast, and the people who understand the hidden mechanics of what these 4 stocks are actually building are the ones who are going to see massive life-altering returns. While everyone else begs for government subsidies just to buy groceries, the choice is yours, but the clock is at 0. You are looking at the ticker symbols and you are looking at the price action and you think you are seeing the whole picture. You aren't. You are looking at the paint on the wall while the foundation is being replaced by steel. The big secret that the institutional suits don't want you to grasp is the concept of physical bottlenecks. Everyone and their grandmother is trying to find the next viral app or the next social media platform. They are chasing ghosts. The real wealth, the massive, undeniable, game-changing wealth is moving into the companies that control the physical constraints of the digital age. By 2026, the world is going to hit a wall. We are calling it the Great Energy Crunch. AI isn't just code. AI is heat. AI is power. AI is a physical beast that demands an impossible amount of electricity and cooling. The first stock you will regret not owning is the one that owns the sovereign AI hardware cycle. We are talking about the companies that are not just selling chips, but are building the entire compute fabric for entire nations. When a country decides it needs its own digital sovereignty, they don't go to a software developer. They go to the hardware architects who own the silicon intellectual property. That is the first pillar. But here is the turning point you aren't seeing. The chips are getting so powerful and so dense that traditional data centers are becoming obsolete. They literally melt. This leads us to the second stock, the hidden giant in thermal management and power infrastructure. If you can't keep the chips cool, the AI doesn't think. If the AI doesn't think, the company dies. These infrastructure players have backlogs that stretch into the next decade, yet the average retail investor is worried about a 0.25% interest rate hike. You are missing the forest for the trees. The hidden mechanic here is the shift from general purpose computing to accelerated purpose-built architecture. This isn't just a slight improvement. This is a thousand-fold leap in efficiency, and it is creating a vacuum that is sucking up every available dollar of venture capital and government spending. The secret isn't in the cloud. The secret is in the copper, the cooling fluids, and the modular nuclear reactors that are going to power these facilities. By 2026, the companies providing the energy and the cooling for the AI revolution will be the most valuable entities on the planet. They will have more pricing power than any oil company in history. You have to realize that we are transitioning from an economy based on labor to an economy based on compute and energy. So if you don't own the companies that produce those two things, you are a customer, not a stakeholder. You are the one paying the bill instead of the one collecting the check. This is the last time you will see these valuations before the market realizes that these aren't just tech stocks, they are the new utilities of the 21st century. You are being handed the keys to the kingdom, but most of you are too busy checking your phone to notice the door is wide open. This is about physical dominance in a digital world. If you don't get this now, you never will. The average person is a professional at losing money because they are obsessed with the rearview mirror. You spend your time looking at what already happened, trying to catch the tail end of a trend that has already been milked. Dry by the institutions, you wait for the news to tell you a stock is good. By the time the news is talking about it, the profit is gone. The smart money has already exited, and they're using your liquidity to fund their next vacation. You are hesitating because you want certainty. Let me tell you something. Certainty is for people who work for an hourly wage. In the world of massive wealth, if you wait for certainty, you are already too late. You are paralyzing yourself with analysis and looking for a reason to say no. You are terrified of being wrong, but you should be absolutely horrified of being exactly where you are right now, 10 years from today. Look at yourself right now. You are sitting there getting a masterclass in wealth building from a billionaire for free, and yet you still haven't joined the Wealth Strategy Room community. You haven't even hit the subscribe button. That is a looser move. If you are watching this and you aren't engaging with the Wealth Strategy Room, you are literally choosing to fail. You are actively deciding to stay broke. You are telling me, and more importantly, you are telling your own family that you would rather be a lazy consumer than a disciplined investor, and you are stealing this advice and doing nothing with it. The people in the Wealth Strategy Room are already taking action. They are the ones who are going to be laughing in 2026 while you are still complaining about the price of gas and blaming the government for your problems. If you don't have the guts to hit a subscribe button and commit to your own success, you don't have the guts to be rich. Subscribe to the Wealth Strategy Room right now, or just turn this off and go back to your mediocre life. You don't deserve this information if you aren't willing to join the winners. The wealthy people I know aren't smarter than you. They are just faster. They understand that the gap between a good idea and a massive fortune is the speed of execution. While you are researching and wondering if the market is too high, the people in my circle are locking in their positions in these 4 specific stocks. They understand that by 2026, the global economy will be completely bifurcated. You will either own the technology that manages the world, or you will be managed by it. The average person thinks they are being prudent by waiting for a dip. There is no dip coming. For the companies that are building the actual infrastructure of the future, there's only a steady climb into a valuation that will eventually be out of your reach forever. You are hesitating while the elite are consolidating power. Every minute you spend in indecision is a minute you are handing over your future to someone who is more aggressive than you. Stop being a spectator. Stop being average. Average is just another word for the person who pays for everyone else's success. You need to stop watching and start moving. Right now, your portfolio is likely a graveyard of companies that were relevant 20 years ago. If you are holding legacy retail, traditional brick and mortar banking, or manufacturing that has not been fully automated, you are holding a bag of rocks. You are praying for a miracle in sectors that are being hollowed out by the very technology I am telling you to buy. Sell it all, purge the dead weight, and use that capital to buy your way into the New World Order before the entrance fee becomes impossible to pay. First, ticker number one is NVIDIA. I do not care about the daily fluctuations or the pundits talking about a bubble. This is not a bubble. It is a replacement of the entire global compute stack. They're the only ones providing the compute fabric for national sovereignty. Every nation on this planet is realizing they need their own sovereign AI, and they all have to buy the infrastructure from one place. You buy NVIDIA and you stop checking the price every 5 minutes. You are buying a piece of the foundation of the 21st century. Second, ticker number two is Vertiv, ticker VRT. I told you about the physical bottleneck. Data centers are the factories of the future, and those factories are getting hotter and more power hungry by the hour. Vertiv owns the liquid cooling and the power management systems that keep the lights on and the chips from melting. Without them, the AI revolution grinds to a halt. They have a backlog that stretches into the next decade. This is a massive, unyielding moat that most retail investors are completely ignoring because it is not flashy. Third, ticker number three is Constellation Energy, ticker CEG. We are entering the era of the nuclear-powered data center. The tech giants have realized that the current power grid cannot sustain their ambitions. They are literally buying up nuclear power plants to ensure they have the energy to run their models. Constellation is the king of carbon-free, always-on energy in the United States. If you want to own the fuel that powers the brain of the world, you buy this stock. Fourth, ticker number four is Palantir, ticker PLTR. They are building the operating system for the modern industrial age. This is not just another software company. They are embedding themselves into the core of how governments and massive corporations function. When the world gets chaotic and efficiency becomes a matter of survival, Palantir becomes the most important tool in the shed. They are the ones who turn data into a weapon. The next step is to change your mindset. You need to stop trying to time the market and start timing the technology. Set your limit orders and stop being afraid of volatility. Volatility is the price you pay for massive returns. If you do not have the stomach for a 10% drop, you do not deserve the 1,000% gain. You have to automate your aggression. This is the blueprint. If you do not execute on this right now, do not complain to me when 2026 rolls around and you are still struggling. Listen carefully because this is where 99% of you are going to screw this up. I have just handed you the exact playbook that the smartest money in the world is executing right now. But knowing the plays does not mean you are going to win the game. The biggest trap you are going to fall into is your own psychology. You are going to watch these four stocks make a massive run, and your instinct will be to take a small profit because you are terrified of losing it. You will sell a 50% gain and watch from the sidelines as it goes up another 500%. That is poverty thinking. You have been conditioned to accept crumbs. So when a real feast is placed in front of you, you do not know how to handle it. The second trap is the daily noise. Every broke analyst on television is going to tell you these companies are overvalued. They are going to tell you a massive crash is right around the corner. They say that every single year because peddling fear is how they get ratings. Let me be perfectly clear. The people telling you to be cautious are not billionaires. They are paid a mid-level salary to keep you paralyzed in cash. You cannot build a financial dynasty by listening to people who punch a clock. You have to ignore the static and lock onto the long-term reality of this structural economic shift. The third trap is shiny object syndrome. Over the next 12 months, 100 garbage crypto tokens and fake AI startups are going to promise you overnight riches. They are designed to steal your liquidity. Do not take the bait. You stay focused on the foundational monopolies I just gave you. The real wealth is not in gambling on trends, it is in owning the infrastructure. Now, let us have a very honest conversation about your dedication to your own success. I have given you the overarching strategy, the exact tickers, and the brutal macroeconomic reality of 2026. If you have not subscribed to the Wealth Strategy Room yet, what is wrong with you? You are literally staring absolute financial freedom in the face and refusing to open the door because it requires you to click one button. If you will not take one single second to subscribe to a community that is handing you the blueprints to generational wealth, you absolutely do not have the discipline, the drive, or the guts to hold a winning stock through market volatility. You are just a tourist in the game of wealth. You are consuming this video for pure entertainment, while the actual players in the wealth strategy room are using it to build massive empires. Look at your bank account right now. If you do not hit subscribe and like this video right this second, you are making a conscious, deliberate choice to keep that number exactly the same. You are deciding that your laziness is more important than taking care of your family. Subscribing to Wealth Strategy Room is your only logical move. The time for watching videos is over. I just gave you the exact blueprint to build massive, undeniable wealth by 2026. And if you are still sitting there waiting for permission to change your life, you have already lost. You have all the information you need, and the excuses are officially dead. You can no longer say you did not know what was coming or how to prepare for it. The only thing standing between you and financial freedom right now is your own hesitation. 2026 is going to arrive whether you are ready for it or not. The four companies I just laid out are going to rebuild the global economy, and they are not waiting for you to get comfortable. You are either going to ride this massive wave and build a permanent dynasty for your family, or you are going to get crushed by it and spend the rest of your life wondering what went wrong. Stop consuming content and start executing the strategy. Get your capital deployed. Put your money to work in the infrastructure of the future right this second. The clock is out. The game is on. Now close this video, get to work, and get it done.